Hi guys.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Judge Vivian.
Hi Judge John.
How are you? How's your day?
It's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. How are you?
Oh, retired life is fine. Everything's good. Ah, it's good. It's good.
So we are here today, guys, for our second show of As the Law Turns, episode 2. We're very, very, very excited to have you guys with us. And today we get a chance to talk about a few topics that were brought to us by some of our viewers. Yay, you can say that,
Yay.
some of our viewers.
Yay, viewers.
One of the beautiful things, though, that we get to talk about tonight is we got a plethora of topics, guys. We're gonna have a little bit more fun tonight. However, because we know we're probably getting a new group of people, we are going to reintroduce ourselves, and maybe for the next couple of episodes, we'll probably do that for you guys, and we'll get a chance to give you a moment. So I'm gonna let Judge Dawn introduce herself first.
I am retired Judge Dawn Fields. And yes, I was a real judge in my former life. I retired December 31st this year after 14 wonderful years on the bench, 13 years as a prosecutor, and 8 years as a high school math teacher. Born and raised in Daytona Beach, Florida, and love what we're doing right now. Just love it. Love it. I encourage you all to tune in and Facebook and follow us and give us some great ideas. And welcome, 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 welcome. Every second and fourth Thursday, 2-4, 2-4, 2-4.
Okay,
You want me to go on,
and I
go on with my
am Judge
introduction? Because I
Vivian.
can.
I want you to do a little more. I need people to know the importance of Judge Dawn being
Okay,
on here with me.
okay, okay. I was for maybe 4 or 5 years the only Black judge in Volusia County. When I first started the state attorney's office, I was the only Black prosecutor. And it's a strange feeling and strange time and strange position to be in, not only on the Black prosecutor, the Black judge. And I had the privilege of having almost an all Black staff when I first came to the bench. Attorney Williams, and I had a JA secretary. I had a state attorney. There was also Black female. So in a staff of maybe 7 or 8 in the courtroom, there were basically 4 of us, which was an odd twist on where we were. But about 4 or 5 years, I was the only Black judge in Volusia County, only Black judge in the Seventh Circuit. Now we have a first African American circuit judge. The heels of that, another African American circuit judge. So we're progressing a little bit. I saw the 43 judges. We have now 2 Black females and 1 Hispanic male. When Vivian asked me to do this, I jumped at the idea because her idea was about 5%. 5% of the lawyers in the nation are minority, African American. And her goal is to increase that 5%. Now, ironically, that's kind of what we are as far as the judicial branch. We have about 4.8% minority judges. So we're right in line with the national average, which is a sad state of affairs. Things are changing, things are looking up. And so I encourage you all to branch out and think about a career in the law field. It's hard to, when I was growing up, it was hard to imagine a Black female judge. Judge Grimes was elected to the bench in 88, and I went to law school in 89. So I was born and raised around all white middle class judges. And so it's a different time now. So I want to encourage you all to increase that 5% number and look at some law related fields in endeavor. And so we're here to encourage you and give you the good and bad and positive and negative of being a Black female or a minority person in the legal field. Happy to be here. Yay.
I want to throw in while saying my own story. So I am newer. I have been on in a license for about 5 years, and I have the pleasure of working in a few different counties as a public defender. No, we are not all bad. Please, please, please stop letting the media sway you to that. I am really good at my job. I like it. However, I got the blessed opportunity, as Judge Fields mentioned, in my lifetime to be in an all Black women's courtroom. The prosecutor was Black, I was Black, our judge was Black, and it was really, really, really nice to have that opportunity. It was really, really great. I was so excited for that. It was short lived, um, but it was really, really great. And I've been with Volusia County now for about 4.5 years. And I've loved hated it, I'm gonna be honest, I've loved hated it. But I have enjoyed the experience of kind of making my mark as showing people how public defenders are actually very good attorneys. And they learn the environment and the judges at I think a more in-depth level than a lot of other attorneys because they're with them more times throughout the day and the weeks and the years and the months. So I'm very, very, very excited to be doing this with one of the ladies that I consider like one of my favorite all-time judges. Shh, don't tell Judge Z.
Judge Zambrano is a minority judge and Hispanic judge, and he's our chief judge. Judge Z. We call him Judge Z.
And I'm currently in front of him. So I'm really honored to have that opportunity as well. But I had such a great time being with Judge Fields. When I saw her, I was like, she needs to be on television. So here we are.
On our way to TV land. Let me add another thing about public defenders. I can say things now that I couldn't say as a judge because judicial ethics forbid me from advocating for one side or the other. If I had the income level, I'd rather a public defender than a private attorney. But hold on. Why? It's because public defenders and the state attorneys work close to each other. They work on cases all the time. They're in the courtroom 3 and 4 times a week together. They're on the phone in the afternoon. They know each other's cell phone number. They know each other's Twitter accounts. They know each other's Instagram, as opposed to a private attorney, which are very qualified attorneys. Private attorneys, you may see a private attorney once a month, maybe twice a month, talk to them once a week. And the level of trust and confidence is different because I'm a former prosecutor. And so the public defenders we worked more closely together than the private attorneys. And I have to emphasize, they're all attorneys. Everybody went to school 7 years, 4 years bachelor's degree, 3 years law school. Everybody has passed the same bar exam. So public defenders just work for the state. They're attorneys just like private attorneys. So
I'm glad she said that. I'm very glad you said that, Your Honor, because I think a lot of people get caught up in the fact that they've seen it on television. Public defenders are usually the bumbling idiot, or they haven't gotten a chance to, read or know anything about the case. And I'm telling you that is not the case. We are very dedicated to our jobs. And I got to give a shout out to the 7th Judicial Circuit in Daytona Beach. Being that I'm a part of them, I know for a fact that we are very, very big on professionalism and helping people. You should see how hard we work, guys. We're there on Saturdays, Sundays. I've been there for hours, sometimes on weekends. I've gone out to the places of my clients when things have happened. That's all a part of our jobs, and we very much so enjoy it. But we're not going to keep going through that. We're going to get to our 2 topics of the night.
Okay, we have convinced them how great public defenders are, and they are great. So
I have I listened to my team being you guys, and you told me that you wanted to talk about an interesting topic about an attorney who was recently in some decent trouble, which he deserves to be in, I think. Did I already give away my ruling?
Yeah, bias maybe slap there, maybe. Remain neutral and partial.
So he essentially decided that it would be a smart idea. Mind you, it is not, because ethics rules tells us it is not. Also, it's just really a bad idea. He decided that he would have relations with some of his clients. He took it a step further, and those relations were with a client that was actually incarcerated. So he did it while they were in jail. We want to hear you guys sound off on whether you think that that is appropriate for an attorney to be having a romantic relationship with their client during representation, going so far as to sleep with them while they're in jail.
And film it on an
I
iPod.
that, that's the part that gets me.
Don't get it. Don't get it. I don't get it. Okay. And the persons that he was caught up, two counties, Hillsborough and another county, were not his actual clients. So he engaged in a little fibbing to the jail and said, I need to see Ann Smith. Well, Ann Smith is not a client, but I'm a member of the Florida Bar, and I need to see Ann Smith. So he was had contact with Ann Smith and photographed and recorded everything that him and Ann Smith did. Now, Ann Smith is just a name I made up. So ever Ann Smith is, please don't write us. Don't give us hate mail. That's the name I just made up. And so we were thinking about that. We want to know your take on the issue. What just so many things to think about.
Simone said, "No, ma'am." I'm assuming that she means this was a really bad idea, and he should not have been having a romantic relationship. And as Judge said, he specifically went there to have a relationship. It wasn't even his client.
Okay, now doesn't that make a difference? It's not his client. It's a person walking into a jail to see his boo and got caught. That he just happened to be a lawyer and probably has more access than the average person to his boo. And he says, I'm lawyer Hack or whatever his name is. I'm here to see Ann Smith. Did he do anything wrong? And what did he do wrong?
Okay, so when you put it in the context of, okay, it's not his client, I can kind of lean more towards like, okay. But what still gets me is the filming. It's the filming.
It's the filming.
Yes.
Well, I'm Ann Smith in jail. If my boo wants to film me, because I can only see him once a week, why is Department of Justice getting into this? Okay, maybe it's a horrible idea, but it's my boo. Just don't disbar him. Don't sanction him. He's just doing what people do when they are incarcerated and miss their sweetie.
So you think he should not be disbarred?
I'm throwing ideas out there to say maybe. If I was defending him, maybe my angle would be Supreme Court or not JQC, JNC. The Florida Bar, my client, Mr. Pack, engaged in poor judgment when he was going to see his boo. He didn't say he represented boo. He went to see boo. And people will be people, and boo wanted to see him, and boo liked the kinky part of it. And okay, yes, he may have fibbed about his relationship to gain access, but is it worth disbarring? He didn't molest. He didn't publish it. He didn't make money off of it. He had his own private viewing with him and his boo.
But think about it like this. As Miss LaFonda said, let's think about it like this. We are, as licensed members of the bar, not supposed to lie, especially to governmental agencies. It is considered uber taboo, even if the client doesn't, even if the lawyer doesn't end up get fired, it is still taboo for you to lie to the court And I know that a lot of judges, when they realize someone's lied to them, they get real sketchy with you in court. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a ruining of his reputation.
He lied to gain access. Well, he showed his bar card and said, I'm here to see Ann. I'm here to see Ann Smith.
I don't, I, you know,
Did,
I know how I'm ruling.
did he use his power unnecessarily? Should he be disbarred? Is he guilty of a violation worthy to disbar, like done, disbar, or reprimand, or sanction, or should it be
Okay.
disbarred?
Oh, okay. I can say it's definitely an ethical issue with the rule, I think. However, okay, we can entertain the idea of a lack of disbar. I think you swayed me. I think you can. I think you swayed me against maybe disbarring, but there should be some disciplinary action.
Okay. The sanction should be if he's guilty of inappropriate conduct not becoming a member of the Florida bar, or maybe as Miss Gibson Middleton saying, actually fibbing to gain access. I'm going to turn my tails a little bit. What else has he fibbed about? We caught this
That's
one.
what I'm saying. You lose trust.
We caught
You
this
lose.
one. And this is a major one. Not only did you maybe fib to gain access, you fibbed about this tablet that the website indicates that the tablet was like a contraband, illegal thing. Then it's not your client. And you took all these chances for sex, not
You
to feed the
know,
hungry, not to end world disaster, not to cure COVID, for a sexual relationship. Wow.
this is the part too, though, that I kind of dislike about it. In the storyline, LaFonda's right. The understanding at that time, though, was that he was the attorney to that client too. You get what I'm saying? So it
Okay.
makes it look even more like. I think he should at least. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this one out the park with a guilty. And I think he's guilty. His sanction should be maybe 90 days or 60 days suspension. Maybe not so far as a disbarring, but I think definitely a suspension. And two big reasons why. The reason why I say even more than 60, closer to 90 days, is because first of all, there are laws or that you are not, even attorneys now are not allowed to bring in cell phones
Ah,
at least in our state.
ah,
So of course you
didn't know
can't
that.
do so you can't do laws, I can't do laws for other states. You guys, I'm only licensed in Florida. And I want to throw out that we are not giving legal advice. However, there is a law that we cannot bring in our cell phones. So he brought in an
They call
iPad.
it contraband. Yeah, it's an iPod or something, a contraband.
So it's definitely what we would consider contraband. Therefore, in the state of Florida, he's actually committed a third-degree felony.
Yes, yes. Okay, so there's a couple of things. The jail or the state attorney, if you will, can sanction, if you will, by charging with the crime. And I think that the story is he was charged with the crime, introduction of contraband or something else. And the Florida bar and ultimately the Supreme Court can sanction him by either disbarring him. That's it. You're done. You're turning your license. You cannot practice law, or suspending him for a while, 1 day, 2 days, 6 months, a year. And during that suspension, make him take courses, do community service, and or just reprimand. Kind of stand into the well of the Supreme Court and chewed up like you've never been chewed up before, just standing there as they tell you that you're a foul, vile, disgusting human being, and you just, yes, may I have another? Yes, may I have another? Yes, may I have another? And it's recorded and it's live and everybody can see it. So those are the things that can happen to it: the criminal sanction and the Supreme Court Florida bar sanction, suspended, reprimand, or warning, or reprimand, suspended, or warning. So,
I
and it makes
definitely say suspension. I
it
say
difficult.
suspension.
I would say suspension. I would definitely find him guilty of conduct unbecoming a lawyer, ethical violations, and a criminal violation. And I can't do anything with the criminal, but definitely suspend him for a time that hurts him. So if he's $1 million lawyer, each case, 60 days is not going to do anything for him. Maybe 6 months, maybe. So I would look at what he has going for him, and just like we do in criminal court with the score sheet, and kind of let that dictate how long I was suspended. So I would find him guilty of conduct unbecoming a lawyer and ethical violations, and the criminal. I agree with that, and suspension.
So we both find him guilty. We have, I think it's the guilty.
Guilty. Well, LaFonda Gibson Middleton, Judge Vivian said, has he abused his privilege of carrying that bar card any other way? You don't know. So that's what you got caught with. The first time you get caught speeding is not the first time you sped.
Nope.
And as a former sex crimes prosecutor, I've had tons of psychologists say the first time you get caught is not the first time you did it. You just got so sloppy and accustomed to doing what you want to do. Now you got caught. And so did he abuse her privilege in other ways? Probably, but we don't know. Probably.
Yeah, because
you can abuse your bar card, just simple things like showing it to the police or showing it to a waitress or a bar to say, I'm a member of the bar. What does that mean? You go to a restaurant as a member of the public, and still, as judges, there's no reason for me to tell you I'm a judge at a traffic stop or I'm a judge at a restaurant, at a hotel, unless I'm abusing my bar card. Why would I do that?
True. I like that. So guys, we ruled on that one, but we got one more fun one for you. And this time we got a video.
This is fun. Good questions.
I'm going to post the video, and then when we're finished watching the video, it's no sound, you guys, but we're going to watch this video really quickly, and then we're going to ask you to give your opinion on what you think about this video. So take a look. So,
wow.
Dun, dun.
Wow.
So there was a lot that just happened in that video. I don't know if anybody got a chance to pay attention. A lot just went down in that video. So I'm going to kind of give an overview of what it looks like to me. Unfortunately, there is no sound to it. And then the quick article is very brief. It basically just talks about how the man's behavior. But as we know, amid COVID right now scares, they're restricting the amount of people in elevators. And the elevator's restricted. As you can see from that camera angle, it's a small elevator. So there's like 3 people already on it, and they're like, hey man, you mind waiting? It's 3 people on here. We're trying to keep up, space as well as we can with COVID. It looks like the 2 in the corner were together. And they're trying to be under COVID procedures. The guy gets an attitude, forces his way onto the elevator. I'm going to say, even though we don't have any sound, that definitely the guy with the pull, what's the thing he called? The dolly.
Yes.
Is probably saying something to him like, man, we tried to keep you from getting on because we're trying not to get COVID. It's too many people in here. It's small. He said something to him. And the guy takes his mask off and coughs or makes some kind of gesture with his mouth, either spitting, coughing. I believe it's coughing. Coughed at him and then put his mask on. Now, the average person is not going to take that lightly, especially in the era of COVID. And the gentleman with the dolly did not take that very well. I believe that he was just trying to get him off the elevator, just kind of like, let's just get off, move out of the way. We shouldn't be bothered by you. Just get off the elevator. However, it appears that the guy was not feeling that and struck him. And they got into so occurred. I'm trying to think and figure out, like, what do we think happened? Like, are we picking a person at fault? Do you think that he should have coughed on him? Do you think that he should have reacted that way from the cough? It seems overreaction on both levels, but
do you think this is just an unfortunate situation and everybody behaved badly and really no lesson to learn because it's not going to be repeated, or there's a lesson to be learned in this, either from the bad guy or the cougher? And did anybody do anything so wrong? And who started the wrong activity? Should I just get off the elevator because I see 4 people on there? I'm on my mask. Do I have to have a mask? Do I have attempted murder? Do I have to obey all of those social rules the CDC imposes? And if I don't, do you have a right to pummel my head against the elevator wall? I don't, we don't know what transpired. I don't know what all of a sudden this man's going to turn around and take his mask down. I'm presuming some words were said that were not kind, and the mask bandit basically says, "I'll give you something to be afraid of," and just coughed and did a thing. So who started it? And did anybody do anything really socially wrong? Was there some injustice in this video, or just people behaving badly because things are just bad right now, and we just kind of forgive it and let it go, and that's not worthy of repeating because it's not going to happen again?
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. I agree with LaFonda that everybody behaved badly. That's for starters. I definitely think everybody behaved badly here. I think that I think he shouldn't have coughed on him. And then I think he shouldn't have put his hands on him. Even though he coughed on him, he kind of started it. But then my thought too came to think about it like this. How much danger is coughing and bodily fluids right now? Like, could you argue that I'm finna jump real far. Could you argue?
Go for it. Put it out there.
Could you argue that this is some version of manslaughter? He's being inconsiderate in a reckless, wanton, these are legal terms, y'all, sorry, reckless, wanton manner towards the general public by coughing in a closed space with other people. We cannot verify or deny that he has COVID. And he's in a small space. And of course, the intention with the coughing was to say, oh, now I'll give you COVID, you know?
Well, maybe I'll give you COVID, but you have your mask on. And I know you're not going to get COVID, presumably, because you have the mask on. Maybe double mask right now. Everybody has their mask on. And I didn't cough really at you. I coughed kind of down towards your feet, if you will. If I wanted to cough at you, if I wanted to attempted murder, I put that mask down, old man, and hold your shoulders and cough in your face. Whatever you said behind my shoulder irritated me. And maybe I shouldn't have put my mask down and cough. But mind your own business. I'm in the elevator. I'm facing forward. I don't know what you had to say to me that was so important that you had to show it in front of your girlfriend, and get that poor guy in the corner back in.
No.
Just
You don't
throwing it
cough
out there.
on people. We in COVID. He knew not to cough on that man. He was just, I don't agree. He shouldn't have coughed on him. I think he's more at fault here. I would find him at fault. I think the other guy was protecting himself, as protecting his person. And it looks like the lady was with him. So I would also say he was protecting another person. So he was doing self-protection and he was protecting others, because he didn't cough. You watch this again, Judge. He didn't cough at his feet. He coughed on him. He took his mask down intentionally and coughed on him. Like, you can see. And the man mumbled, what's words? That's like, we hear people call people names and stuff like that all the time. And we tell people not to react to that. So why are we okay with him reacting now to someone else's words by coughing on them? You see that cough. That cough was definitely in his face.
That was unnecessary. Was it overreacting? Oh, was the mask bandit guilty of overreacting? Uh, yes, but I'm on the elevator now. And oh man, what is your problem? That I stopped the elevator door? I'm on here. You don't own this elevator. Is your name Mr. Otis? And so shut your mouth. I'm not facing you. I'm facing the elevator doors, and you're in my ear. And I'm trying to kind of ignore you. And yeah, and I see his mouth moving. I'm on the elevator. I stopped the door. Okay, that aggravated you. I understand that. But I have my mask on and I'm facing this way. Mind your business. Mind your business.
No, words are not enough. If that was the case, then we have so many people in jail and stuff. I mean, we already do have a lot of people in jail, but that's not what I'm trying to. I can't agree that it was an accident. I think it was definitely a battery.
Okay. Attorney Nunley opines it's a battery. Who's the battery? The battery is the masked man?
I think the man who took down his mask and coughed on him either committed at lowest a battery and at best either manslaughter or attempted murder, because we're in the middle of a pandemic right now that we know is spread through coughing, sneezing, touching, and he purposefully, like, he took it off. He pulls it off his face and goes. I got
now
really
for those of us, the kind of non-lawyer people, the battery is an unlawful touch. I mean, if you hit someone tap someone in the elevator, so you want to get off the elevator, that's not a battery. Football practice, boxing, that's not a battery. Spewing fluids and unlawful touch, that's a battery. And so with the opinion is that's a battery. That's a battery when you spitting on them. That's the battery.
And he probably let spittle come out of his mouth. You know when you open your mouth and go ha stuff. I am loving these comments right now.
I know. Copper committed a battery. Okay.
And then someone said he did that on purpose. I like this one. Because he did. He did it on purpose. And the video shows clear. I think the video shows clear intent. I do. I agree. I agree with LaFonda here. And Ann is playing devil's advocate. Ann says that is assuming.
I'm 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 not with Miss Ann, but I don't know what this guy said, the mouth behind me. I'm in the elevator. I know it aggravates you, but I'm in the elevator and you don't own this elevator, Mr. Otis Elevator. And I'm not bothering you. I'm facing here. Leave me alone. But you
True,
want to
but
mouth off. Now, is my reaction appropriate? Ah, does either one have a defense
yeah,
to the mutual batteries?
no, no, I don't think it's mutual combat. And I say that because once again, it would have slightly been different if he'd have turned around and been like, "You don't tell me what to do." Okay, equal. That's equal. But he turned around, pulled his mask off, and coughed in a climate in which people are getting arrested, tased, and everything for even taking their masks off periodically. That was another topic I thought I was going to touch tonight. Trey Songz got arrested for taking his mask off. They're competing stories. One is that he was trying to eat. The other is that he'd been told a few times. But even a popular singer got arrested for taking his mask off. Just that, not even coughing on someone. And this man in a closed space with other people coughs on someone. And takes his mask down to do it, which means he's conscious enough to wear a mask. So he's conscious enough to know that we're in a society in which we're trying to keep germs down. And then he purposefully goes and spreads his germs.
And it's kind of in my camp. Maybe it's reaction. Once again, I'm minding my own business, man. I'm in the elevator. I'm not facing you. I have a mask on. I know it's 3 people between us, but leave me alone. Set a watch. Leave me alone. You in my ear. You want a problem? I'll give you a problem. Now you got a problem. Oh, maybe he couldn't breathe. Find defense attorney. Find defense attorney's statements.
No.
He couldn't breathe.
I can't. That's not, no. I'm stuck on that. I think that's the biggest thing. Maybe if we were in a different climate, I would say, but the pandemic part of it, I think, is what got me the most. Regina, we'll show the video one more time.
Yes, please.
So, yes. So you guys can see. Here's the video. You can see that they come. It appears that they asked him probably not to get on the elevator.
Man in the back talking.
They're already upset.
See, his mouth is moving.
They're talking. Exactly. They're just talking. You don't pull your mask down and cough in somebody's face from a conversation.
I really don't see coughing in the face. I see coughing toward the feet.
And then I don't think the man was trying to fight him. I think he was just trying to get him on the elevator. I think that the fight escalated because he was trying to get him off the elevator. Should he have touched him? Maybe not. But was his actions more appropriate, in my opinion, than the cougher guys? Absolutely. Because at that point, he had already committed a battery against him by coughing on him. And more so, I would even lean, like I said, towards manslaughter, possibly even a murder, because at this point, COVID is killing people at drastic numbers. And you coughed, and you can tell he was with this lady because he brings her back on. He meant to do it. He meant to do it. And then he tried to come back on and start even more stuff. He meant to do it. I think he meant to do that.
Okay. He meant to do it. So the masked man is guilty of battery, and the fighter is also guilty of battery. Because we can't ignore him.
No, I give him immunity by self-defense.
You bring a gun to a knife fight. The thing is already over. I've already coughed. You got me down. Yep, you punched me. Now you have to punch my head into the elevator.
I don't. The only reason why is they're in the heat of the fight to me at that moment, because the other guy did react again before he started pushing his head in the elevator. So I feel like it was already in the act for me. I would give immunity by self-defense.
The interesting thing, Judge Vivian, and you know this, and I know this as well. There's a jury pardon. The jury probably pardoned if the fighter was charged a crime, they will say that's he should have gotten his butt whipped for what he did. And even though the jury may think that the fighter may have been wrong, that's kind of like the vigilante justice, and we've used the term jury pardon. That means the jury sees the evidence and convinced that the state may have proved this case beyond the reasonable reasonable doubt, but want to give the person a break because they would have done the same thing.
Non-jury, I'm joking.
So I would find the masked man guilty of battery.
Okay.
I would also find the fighter guilty of battery.
Both batteries.
He just went too far. Just went too far. You bring a knife to a gunfight. He spit. You shut him. What are you doing, man? But you don't pound him into the wall and throw him out the elevator and push him out the elevator again.
Okay, the dragging him by his hair part.
Which was funny, but that was not the point.
I was like, if you're gonna get in fights, sir, you probably should cut your hair.
Can you explain Anne's comment? Says no, that will have law enforcers.
I'm thinking she was saying that law enforcement should have been called instead of him jumping in. And Anne, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's what you were trying to say. How would you guys rule? We want to know, are you guilty, not guilty? Who do you think is more guilty? Who do you think is guilty? Okay. I believe that I would say I'm gonna hit my gavel and say that the man who took down his mask and coughed on him, I'm going all the way to manslaughter. I'm sorry. I am, in this day and age and climate, because in my opinion, we're in an enhanced state, which we know in the law, when there's enhancements to anything, it's worse. We consider an enhanced state something worse. So I would give him manslaughter at least. And then I think I would have to pardon the guy that beat him up with self-defense.
I would find the spitter, if you will, guilty of battery. What's the lesser included with the fighter? I don't think there's a lesser included.
Maybe Agbat. You could say Agbat. Regina said Agbat. And
Agbat with the spitter? I like that. Agbat with the spitter and battery with the fighter.
I like that too. Oh, sorry guys, aggravated battery. We call
aggravated battery, an enhanced battery, bringing a gun to a knife fight kind of battery.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Very good.
Simone says she thinks the cougher is guilty. I agree.
Good.
I think the cougher is guilty. I would have to give immunity to the guy who hit him and kind of shoved him into I would have to give him immunity. I do. Next time, sir, though, don't put the paws on him. Just
walk away.
Just get in the back of the elevator and go, Jesus. Or get in the back of the elevator, Buddha, whoever you got to call.
Now, I'm not saying if I agree that the state could even charge the man. I don't know. But if charged, I think the state can make a case for battery.
For the cougher?
For the fighter. The Joe Louis in the corner.
Joe Louis?
I'm showing my age. Okay, who's a fighter now? He said, cough on Jesus, not because I throw balls. I love it. Well, it's easy to sit here as an armchair quarterback and say I would and would not, but I think everybody in this pandemic since February, March have been in the situation that we either mean mug somebody or shove somebody or say, excuse me, not maybe to that point, but this pandemic is rough. And like you said, when the time of crisis, things get aggravated. If you do it because I'm gay or senior citizen or because I'm Black or female, it enhances the crime. And like you just said, Judge Vivian, the things are being enhanced now because there's a pandemic. Just a simple cough on me is maybe an aggravated battery. where we are now. So we all have been there. Lesson learned. You see all of the opinions. Just because you're the fighter doesn't mean you have a clear cut right to do what you did.
True-ish. All right, guys, we are coming to a close. We have had so much fun with our topics
Yes.
tonight.
Yes.
Catch us on our Facebook page. It is the title of the show, As the Law Turns. Go and like us, share us. If you want to talk about another topic for next week, let us know. We'll try to incorporate it into one of our conversations. We may not be able to get you every week you send it, but we will definitely do our absolute best to make sure that we go over all of your topics when we get them. And we're so glad to have you interact with us tonight. I want to start doing, though, on a positive note. And so on a positive note tonight, we're going to talk about how the system works. So I know a lot of times in law you hear, oh, the system never works. People are always getting in trouble. But there was a recent story about a man who was exonerated after having been in prison for 19 years. So somebody went, did the hard work, took their time, and got it done. So on a positive note, we're happy to say that good things do come out of the law. It's been fun, guys. We
Very much
really
fun.
can't.
2 and 4, 2 and 4, 2 and 4, 2 and 4. Thank you.